Good afternoon, this is Josh here at Mass Gunworks. I posted a video yesterday about some quick shop tips, hacks, I guess the cool kids are calling them nowadays. But I had some people leave some comments and they wanted me to do a kind of an in-depth walk around of the rifle that I briefly exposed. So see if I can do this before my battery gives out. So this right here is a Remington 700 chambered in 308 or 7.62 by 51 NATO. And what the customer had me do, we took a factory Remington 700 ADL. This is what the factory stock looks like. Okay, just a cheap plastic, doesn't have the bottom metal for the magazine, so that was something we had to acquire. And it had a standard what I call like a sporter profile barrel on it, so it's going to be around inch and a quarter up here, and it'll taper down to around 5/8 of an inch down there. So yeah, I stuck a screwdriver through my hand so you have to forgive the bandage. But what he was wanting to do is he was wanting to recreate the best he could with the money he had a copy of the Marine Corps Scout Sniper M40A1. So I looked up some history on that, and there's a neat website. Let's see if I can pull it up here, called Sniper Central. It's snipercentral.com. There's a gentleman on there who is current or former U.S. Army, and he's got a great write-up on the history of the Remington 700 in the M40 configuration for the Marine Corps. So if you want to read a little bit more about that, I like firearms history. It's just kind of neat for me to learn and see the different weapons that our military and other militaries have used and why they've switched. Okay, which has also affected in many ways the different types of weapons that you see that are popular in the hunting arena today. So anyway, so what we did with this, I obviously removed the barrel, and I told you that I got he ordered a heavy profile barrel from Hart Barrels. They make great products. They gave me a short chambered barrel, which means that the chamber is already cut to a certain point, and then it's my responsibility to finish it out from there. So it makes my machine time a lot less, and setup on the lathe a lot easier. So what they actually did with this one is they cut the chamber too deep, which made my job even easier, because when I went to profile everything, I just had to machine it to fit the action. I didn't have to worry about plunging the chamber any deeper. And so within the process of this, we also timed the barrel. Whenever you have a barrel with a bore and rifling and all that, it's going to have a curvature that you can't see because it's very, very slight. But from one end to the other, there's going to be a curve. So ideally, with a rifle like this, when you go to time it, meaning you want to get the curve so it's curving straight up in the air. For the rifle for this application, there's a little bit of math you have to do, but you got to figure out, like, okay, how many more degrees do I need to get the barrel to turn this way when I'm tightening it? So I don't believe for a minute that I got it absolutely perfect, but we went from having the curvature like this to where it was angling over there to now it's as close to straight up and down and going straight up as I could get it. So what that's going to do is it's going to give him a little bit more elevation because he's planning to bench rest and long range shoot with this. So if this is going to be a hunting rifle, just a quick aside, and he wasn't looking at shooting any more than like 500 yards maybe, it would be perfectly acceptable for the curve, instead of curving up, for it to be down and going that way. That would be perfectly acceptable. So the other thing we did, we blueprinted the action. Took a mandrel, and I showed you that in the other video, and we ran it in here in the Bolt Raceway, and we got the action squared up in, just see it over there, my lathe, and we shaved about 2/1000ths of an inch off of this face right here, where the action and the barrel lug all meet up together. That way these surfaces are good and straight, true, and square to each other. The other thing we did, we took a special tap and ran it down in here and cleaned up these receiver threads. That way this barrel threads in and there's not any binding or torquing side to side, as best as we were able to eliminate it when this all gets fitted up and torqued down. So we didn't really do anything with the bolt. I could have done several different things with the bolt, but I chose to just leave that alone for now. He did not ask for a blueprint job. This is just something that I decided that I was going to do these few things, because if he's putting an upgraded barrel on this, we need to do what we can to make sure that this is good. I don't want to, I don't want to buy a new set of rims and tires for a car that's got rust holes in the frame and a bad axle and put them on there and just hope that it looks good. I want to fix the car and then dress it up. So instead of just dressing up the rifle, I wanted to make sure that all the parts and pieces fit together as best they possibly could. And I did this because this part right here, the machine work here, requires me to separate the barrel from the action. And if he comes back and wants that done later, it's going to cost a lot more to break it all down again than it will for me to just pull the bolt, do a little bit of machining on the bolt, and pop it back in. So, where did we leave off? Oh yeah. So he ordered a stock from Macmillan, and this stock, from what I could see, is exactly like the M40 stock. It's a BDL, and that means that it's got a bottom metal with a magazine box that is spring loaded. So we had to add that in. And then the M40 started out with a unilateral scope, and they switched to a Schmidt bender. And I don't know if you know much about optics, but those are some pretty high speed, high dollar optics. My customer, as much as he wanted, he just didn't have the pockets for that. So we went with a Vortex Diamondback. This is a very good scope. It's got a reticle that has, I believe it is MOA graduations on it, and it even has some MOA dots going side to side in kind of a triangle pattern down the field of view of the scope. That way you can range find and do some windage adjustments and stuff. So it's got a factory trigger. Did gloss, or I'm sorry, not gloss, graphite black Cerakote. So you'll notice it has that nice, what I would call an eggshell finish. For those of you that are familiar with interior paints, it looks nice. It's not flat, but it's not shiny. Okay, so that's that. But I just put a headspace gauge in it to check it before final assembly, and this thing is awesome. Really looking forward to hearing how he likes it. My camera's got 2% left, so I'm going to cut this short. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, Leave a comment, tell me what you think, ask questions. This is Mass Gun Works signing off. Hope you all have a good day and happy Thanksgiving.